Yeah, this is gonna be a weird one. Hi everyone. That's all I will say. It's gonna be a weird one. Hi everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Welcome to Race and Pop with Grant, everybody. Today we're talking about a movie, movies and TVs that we do here, and it is an early review tonight. And that movie is Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo. That was the Jeff Goldblum version. Gran Turismo is what we're talking about tonight. View with Drew, right on cue. How's it going, buddy? So Gran Turismo is opening officially wide 2.5 weeks from now, August 25th. However, this weekend in select theaters, it will be showing. Fantastic! Hope you like it, bud. I've seen it. I've seen Oppenheimer now twice, by the way, since our last review, and it's fantastic. Anyway, the first time I did, of course, I reviewed it. But yeah, Gran Turismo. So Gran Turismo is, it's a weird one. So what is the film about? It is having sneak preview showings this weekend. I think once or twice this weekend, and then it's, I think, having one more next week, and then its full rollout is on the 25th of August. So it comes out on the 25th of August. So what is the film about? Well, and who else is involved? Well, first and foremost, it is directed by Neil Blomkamp, whose previous work includes District 9, among other things. We'll talk about him a little more later. And it is produced by PlayStation Studios, and this is a weird one. This is both a official adaptation of the game series, and it is official. In the credits, it says based upon the PlayStation video game Gran Turismo. So it is in the credits. It's officially a video game movie. It is also, however, a true story. It is a biopic. So what is the film about? It is about a real actual player of the Gran Turismo video game, who became sort of a wizard at it. He's become sort of a wonderkind at the game. That gentleman is named Jan Martinborough. He is played by in this film by Archie. I'm gonna butcher this name. I apologize. Archie Madekwe, I hope I'm saying the name correctly, who's terrific in this. He is an expert GT player, all the way down to having the chair. What's up, movies and trains? The whole chair setup and steering wheel setup. I mean, he's pimped out his house, his bedroom, to basically be ideal for this. And much to the encouragement of his mother, played by Jerry Halliwell of the Spice Girls. Yeah, that was a weird casting choice, but she's also pretty good here. And to the chagrin of his father, played by Demon Hansu, who wants him to either be an actual athlete like his younger brother, or to just join him and work sort of on the kind of movie. It's like the Rudy thing of, remember, I'll get there. So, but being the greatest in the world, he is sought out by corporate Nissan exec Danny Moore, played by Orlando Bloom. Really nice seeing him again. To take part in GT Academy, which was a real thing that was basically Nissan's way of training actual video game players to be actual race car drivers. And I guess it's not surprising to say this, Jan does become a race car driver, and but playing a game and really being in the driver's seat for a life and death race are very different. Will he make it? Will he overcome? Or will he fall apart? Let the inspirational uplift and corporate shilling begin. So, Gran Turismo is, here's the thing. I'll say this straight on. I think to talk about this movie at all, we have to talk about Neil Blomkamp. So, his first film was District 9, which is one of, I think, the greatest science fiction movies of the 21st century, if not the history of film. I think it is a classic. I think it's a deserved classic, and yet it's still somehow underrated while being a classic. I mean, it's kind of amazing how it's a respected movie that also you cannot. There's certain people who don't know what it is. Elysium, his second film, it was fine. Chappie, I have a bit of a soft spot for that other people don't, but it's not a spectacular movie. Demonic was shit. Demonic was terrible, and I think everyone agrees on that. I don't think it's saying a lot to say that Gran Turismo is probably the best film he's made since District 9. However, here's the thing. You probably want to know, knowing what I've talked about this movie on Trailer Trash, all that stuff. Yes, this movie is, in every sense of the word, a corporate advertisement. It is, 100%. It is a commercial for Gran Turismo. It is a commercial for PlayStation. It is a commercial for Nissan cars. It's a commercial for Sony products. Purchased in Tokyo, no less. There is an entire emotional plot point in which David Harbour is tearing up over the fact that while in Tokyo, our hero gifted him a Walkman-esque MP3 player made by Sony. I'm not even kidding. That is like an actual tear-jerking moment in the movie. Involves the purchase of a Sony product. However, it is also cliched as all get out. Is there the disapproving dad who wants him to work on the line with him? You bet your sweet ass there is. Is there a vaguely European, in this case, Dutch bad guy who kind of looks like a slightly shaved-headed Hayden Christensen, and is only missing a mustache tutorial, who almost tries to kill our hero and is a supervillain? You bet your sweet ass there is. Is there a love interest who's only in the movie to cheer our hero on? You bet your sweet ass there is. Is there an understanding mom along with that disapproving dad and a hotshot brother who steals spotlight? You bet your sweet ass there is. Is there a guy who is a corporate executive type who eventually sees the light and comes to care about more than the bottom line? You bet your sweet ass there is. Is there a coach who is cynical about the character's prospects but eventually comes around? You bet your sweet ass there is. Played by David Harbour, who's the best thing in the movie. Is there a flaw in the system that almost slips the hero up, but he's the only one who notices it, and his noticing it brings it to the attention of the experts and keeps him in the running when the chips are down? You bet your sweet ass there is. All of that is there. Is there a heart-to-heart where dad finally accepts son? I don't think this is a spoiler. Of course there is. And here's the question. Did I care about what happened in this movie despite all that? Yeah, I did. This movie is plain and simple Gran Turismo. Somehow, despite all of those knocks against it, actually kind of works. It's good. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. It's a very heartfelt, heart on the sleeve, earnest movie underneath all the corporate pandering. There really is a movie here. It's actually kind of sweet, and you do root for this character. You root for the other characters. Are there other problems outside of that? Sure there are. For one, I think it is kind of telling that, and this is, I guess, a minor spoiler, but it's early in the movie, and it's not really the big revelation. One of the reasons that David Harbour's character comes on board for this movie, for the plot of this movie, is he works for the villain guy, and whose car is gold-plated, just to show that he's, a wealthy prick. And he's like, oh yeah, eat the rich. Fuck them. Like, I'm gonna work with the little guy, which is Nissan. But we're gonna work with the little guy. Okay, fine, I could go over to that. But then there's a moment where the lead character is in a perilous situation, and Orlando Bloom is only caring about the bottom line. And he's supposed to be a representation of the little guy, and mind you, he's called on it. But it's almost like, eat the rich or don't. Like, what are you trying to say? It almost feels like the beginning of this movie was written pre-SAG-AFTRA and WGA strike, the Eat the Rich element, and then once it started, they wrote this part where it was like Sony, who released this movie, was like, dial it back though, PR, we gotta, whatever, we gotta get in front of this. it felt really odd that was what they went with it. But despite that, however, the racing scenes are very good. There's some CGI that's a little wonky aside. They're very good. The acting is, for the most part, really good. And when there's a heartfelt moment toward the end of this movie involving father and son, let's just say that I might have felt a little lump in my throat. I'm not going to lie. It worked. It worked on me. It kind of reminds me of, we were talking about this in the Miracle Club review, I believe, or it was the Mark Kermode when he went to see Mamma Mia, and he turned to his wife and said, "This is rubbish, isn't it?" And he says, "Why are you crying, stupid?" It's like, yeah, it's that kind of movie. But in a lot of ways, this is a bit like the anti-Barbie, whereas Barbie was an example of a corporate IP, essentially advert, that had its cake and ate it too. It trashed the brand while celebrating it and found a way to do both seamlessly. This is a celebration of corporate America. It absolutely is. It is 100% that movie. It is 100% a manipulation. But you know what? I was manipulated, and I didn't mind necessarily being manipulated because ultimately it worked. So yeah. Also, every time they brought up the dad, luckily it wasn't a lot, but every time they brought up the fact that dad was really online, it just reminded me of that great joke from Weird the Al Yankovic story where he's telling him, where he's saying, you need to forget being a songwriter and come work with me at the factory. He goes, what does the factory even do? It's like, it's the factory. We don't have to explain. It's very much like that. It's just, it's cliched as hell. But at the same time, it worked. I enjoyed the movie. It was a good movie. I sound like Yaya from Jimmy Kimmel. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. Like, I'm not in Yaya. But seriously, it was. I enjoyed it. Not anything spectacular, not one of the best movies of the year or anything, but I enjoyed it. And I'm going to give Gran Turismo, I'm not going to go all the way, but I'm going to go pretty far, honestly. I'm going to give Gran Turismo 4.5 out of 5 stars. And the main reason is I got a little choked up. It happened, so I can't deny that. It's 4.5 stars out of 5 for Gran Turismo. Again, it is opening in a couple weeks. Strange recommendation, but yeah, thumbs up. Go check it out. That being said, trailer trash. Let's talk some. Trailer trash, we have a very brief... It's all Sony trailers, because it was an early screening. Napoleon looks really good. Looks very good, actually. Ridley Scott with Joaquin Phoenix looks real interesting. Equalizer 3, talked about it, looks good. And Dumb Money, talked about it, looks good. Was there Sharma? Yes, there is a scene at the very beginning of the credits, but there is nothing after. There is a scene of sorts. It's not really... There's a scene at the beginning of the credits. That's it. That being said, that's it. We will be back tomorrow for a review of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Also this week we'll have reviews of the action thriller Heart of Stone starring Gal Gadot. We will also have reviews of the romantic comedy Love and Tai-Pai. I think that's how you pronounce the title of that movie. And the romantic comedy Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is on Amazon Prime Video. We'll also have a review on Sunday, a retro review, because they were doing a Fathom Events re-release for it. We'll have a retro review for the 50th anniversary of the Bruce Lee classic Enter the Dragon. So we'll have a review of that. And then next week, we'll have reviews of Blue Beetle and Strays. So that's all coming up. And that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Gran, the movie and TV guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, classes missed. I love you 3,000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do. Or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's say Grant, I like waffles. It really helps out. If you want for emails or reviews, listen to other fun stuff, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at RaisinUpPopWithGrant. Twitter, I'm at RaiseGrant. You can find me on Facebook, Raising Popcorn with Grant, Instagram and Threads at Raising Popcorn with Grant. Serialized, all one word, all lowercase, Raised on Popcorn. Check out my podcast, Raising Popcorn with Grant, the podcast on Spotify and Anchor. Some of you already have me. If you haven't, take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important, and I want to know down below, what did you think of Gran Turismo? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. Until we meet again, we're all raised on popcorn. Make my life extra better. Catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone. Bye. See you around. Bye.